There's a nice little creek here just right past the shelter, maybe 20 yards. So that was really convenient to get water in just to wash up, and some of my stuff got super muddy in the night, so I washed out my ground cloth and other things that caught a lot of mud in the rain. But overall it was a good night. I slept pretty well, and even though it rained and everything's wet, feeling pretty good. So I'm getting ready to finish the roller coaster and do 14 miles today, and then tomorrow I'll be rolling into Harpers Ferry. Just getting started and hit this triple creek crossing. My feet were already wet from the rain, but I slipped off a boulder and stepped in a puddle, so now they're extra wet. So that is par for the course on the AT when it rains. I've been up and down my first hill for the day. Came all the way down to this really pretty rushing creek, which I get to cross using that rock, and head up on the trail that way. Well, this is the mansion that houses the Bears Den Hostel, and it's also an education center. And I understand that if I go around the back and enter a mileage code, which I think I can guess, I can get in and have a soda, maybe pizza or something. Even though the hostel's not open for the night and I don't want to stay the night, I think I can get a nice little break, I hope. So I'm headed down there to find out. So I had a nice quick little stop there at Bears Den Hostel. Looks like a nice place to stay, and had a little bit of trouble getting the code in the door, but the caretaker came and he was having trouble with the door too, so I think the lock was just a little sticky. But anyway, it was a nice little stop. I had a Mountain Dew, dried out maybe 10%. Not much. Takes a long time to dry out on a damp, humid day. So anyway, the break was nice. I needed a snack, and I could have taken a shower, but taking a shower and putting on sticky wet clothes just didn't seem to make sense, and I'll get one tomorrow when I get into Harpers Ferry. So that was about, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes, but it was a good little rest, and so I'm getting back on the trail. I've got 11 miles left to do. While I was inside, it's cleared up enough that I have a view here from Bears Den Rocks. Looks like maybe that's the Bears Den right down there, but nice little view of the valley here. This sign made me giggle a little bit. It says you are now on the AT. Heck, I've been on the AT for 1,000 miles now. Just did another scary road crossing from way down there where the steep grade sign is. I had to walk here along the road and then cross 4 lanes. Didn't get a chance to read that historic marker, but yeah, you can see there's some moments where there's no traffic, so that's a good thing, but it's going pretty fast when it comes by. It makes me nervous. Not my favorite thing to do, but I see my double blazes up here, and I suspect I'm going to be heading back into the woods where I belong. And here I go, up some stairs. So much for getting partially dried out. The rain just started again, so I had to stop and put my poncho on my pack, and here we go. I left Bears Den about an hour ago, and I still have, I think, 9.7 miles to hike today and 3.1 left on the roller coaster. It means I've done 11 of the roller coaster, which is pretty good, but I feel like I'm kind of going at a snail's pace today. Part of it's just the rocks. There's a lot of them. And the ups and downs, you know, take a lot of effort. And then, of course, the rain, having to stop, put on my poncho, having to stop for snacks. It's got me a little slow, but that's okay. I'm in no rush. Just going to the shelter tonight. It's time for me to leave my favorite state so far. Goodbye, Virginia. I won't miss your rocks, but beautiful state. Overall, just so green and lush, and so many beautiful hills and valleys, and beautiful. Now I'm on to West Virginia. I was gonna try to finish up the roller coaster before lunch, but it's after 1 o'clock, and I just crossed the state line, and that rock looks pretty inviting, so I'm gonna sit there and celebrate getting out of Virginia with a nice little lunch, and then I'll be on to finish up the roller coaster. Lunch today is gonna be Spam and cheese with mustard on a little ciabatta roll, plus probably some Fritos or Doritos, depending on. Well, there's the sign for the roller coaster for southbounders, which means I just survived the roller coaster northbound, and you can tell I'm out of breath, so that thing kind of kicked my butt. It was, well, it definitely could have been a lot worse, so I'm thankful that it wasn't. But yeah, man, lots of rocks and ups and downs that were somewhat challenging, especially with the rain. So I'm glad it's over. I think now the next few miles for me are just going to be ridge walk with little ups and downs. Give me a chance to recover, and then, man, am I going to sleep well tonight. I am leaving the Blackburn AT Center today, where I stayed the night last night, and there's a couple deer here grazing. And they could really care less that I'm here. And I'm heading up the trail, finding my way back to the AT. It's pretty steep, but it'll be a good morning warm-up. I just came up to the top of the trail that leads down to the Blackburn AT Center. I'll be on a ridge, I think, for most of the day. And as you can see, it's really foggy. We're actually under a dense fog alert until I think about 8 this morning. But it took me a good 20 minutes to climb up that steep trail. It's got 5 or 6 long switchbacks and lots of stairs. And although AWOL says it's 0.2 and Guthook says it's 0.25, I think it's probably closer to 0.4. And so yeah, good way to wake yourself up in the morning. And I am on to Harpers Ferry. Very excited about that. 12 miles to go. And I have a place to stay tonight, and somebody's offered to buy me dinner, which will be awesome. And I'm a little banged up from yesterday. A couple of my toes really hurt from where I smashed them on rocks, and my knee is bugging me a bit. But overall, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling stronger and just generally healthier, so that's a good thing. And I hope I don't lose that all when I go to Florida for a few days, but I'll try to stay in shape so that when I hit the trail back in New York, I'll be ready to roll. Been getting bit up by mosquitoes, and now I'm in a much lower elevation, but I didn't realize there was kind of a swampy pond right here. So that could be the reason. And as you can hear, there's a plane flying overhead. There seems to be a lot of air traffic in this area. I'm assuming it's all flights going into DC probably. Well, it seems that every time I find some nice, smooth, flat trail, I get to go for a few hundred yards, and then I end up in one of these boulder fields, rock fields, picking my way through. So I don't know if this is going to be the way it is all day, but if it is, it's going to be a slow walk into Harpers Ferry. We'll see. This is a little more like it. This makes me happy. All right, fair warning. There's a rant coming. I'm trying to be upbeat today. I've got lots to be happy about, but man, I freaking hate rocks. I don't hate this rock right there. That's a beautiful rock. It's got lovely moss on it. It's not on the trail. It's gorgeous. But then when you spend hours, days, weeks, even months scrambling through this kind of stuff that's here just to twist your ankles, stub your toes, make you fall, slow you down, make your legs hurt, I am so over the rocks. I would be happy if I never saw another rock again, and I haven't even made it to Pennsylvania. They're just crazy. And what makes me even angrier is when you look to either side of the trail and hardly any rocks. The news is that the trail is difficult enough. It is a hard trail. It is physically demanding. It is mentally demanding. And a little bit of rocks to keep it interesting would be fine, but miles and miles and miles of rocks are making me absolutely insane. They slow me down. Like I said, my legs are exhausted, my knees sore, I've stubbed my toes, I've fallen, I trip multiple times. I just hate rocks. Sorry, rocks. I tried to make friends with you. It just didn't work out. Okay, I feel a little bit better after that, but darn if the rocks aren't still there. Ugh. Finally made it to the edge of Harpers Ferry. It's been quite a hike today, and I'd say probably the trail one. I'm feeling pretty beat up. But anyway, that's the river, and there's a huge highway over there, and I think I get to cross the river and walk down the highway a bit before I can find the ATC headquarters. So that is the Shenandoah River that I'm about to cross on my way into Harpers Ferry. I had no idea it was so big.